One, two, three, four, five habits that we need to live off 2021.
One, two, three, let's go!
Hello everyone, it's Kylie. Welcome back to the channel. So this is the first video of 2022. Happy New Year to each and everyone, and my wishes for you guys is to achieve your goals in 2022. Better yourselves and improve yourselves from the 2021 self of you or from the past, and just to have a life that is full of love, peace, and joy, and just doing things that makes you happy. So we have another podcast type of video, which I did an old video that is a podcast type too, which is in the link or in the I section above. So this is the second time that I am making a podcast like video, even though I am doing a video. Huh? So since this is like a podcast, which is I keep on repeating, this is also part of the Life Diaries series, and this is the fourth episode. And this type of videos is very, very personal to me because it is my life diary. Huh? Yeah, it makes sense. So this is solely based on my life, on the things that happen, that on the things that are happening in my own life, in my own circumstances, in my own situation. But maybe you could relate onto it. And without further ado, let's just start discussing these five habits that we need to live off on 2021. Absolutely, on my number one's list is being bothered by people's opinion on you. Actually, I have my notes down below. That's why if you see me looking down, you'll probably know that I'm looking at my notes. So, what is this about? Like being bothered by people's opinion on you. In a layman's term, it's like people's opinion of you. You give some time to it, you reflect on it, and you base your own self or your own worth with these opinions that they keep on talking about you, or they thinking of you and stuff like that. Ever since I am that kind of person that their opinion about my life, about me, matters the most, and that makes me so weak. I personally admit that it makes me weak because once I give time to think about what they think of me or say about me, I just base myself or my image of myself with that, and I tend to please people so much, and I think we it's time to live that off. This also develops for me to have a social anxiety. I keep on thinking what the people may think about me or what they say about me, especially when I walk in the hallways and there's a people that maybe just stand by on the corridors or on the hallways. That's why I keep my music on, because it keeps me have stop thinking about these thoughts, or like it lowers down that kind of thought in my brain. So music really helps that much. But now I am really going to try to brush it off and to continue doing things that I love and what makes me happy, regardless what people may say or might think about my doing. As far as I know that I am not hurting anyone, I'm not hurting myself or any other people, especially my family, my loved one, and friends. So, if it doesn't hurt anyone, or like it doesn't put them to the core, then why should I stop doing it? Just because they think I'm a weirdo or stuff like that, or they just think negative of it. So we just need to remember that we need to do the things that makes us happy and the things that we love to do. And I could surely know that all of the things that I'm doing in my life is through God's guidance, because I know that I always ask for it, I always pray for it, and I read his scriptures, and I try my very best to follow all, like being that perfect, faithful servant and follower of Christ. But I know I'm not perfect, but as far as I know, I have His guidance in my life. And and I know that I am not doing anything that could hurt anybody in any way. Now let's jump off to the second habit, which is forcing things to happen or forcing people to do things. I kind of have this habit that I want things to go in a way that I wanted to, so I force things to happen in that way that I pictured in my mind. And I kind of have this habit also that I kind of force people to do things in a way that I want. So it's kind of a bratish or spoiled attitude, and I admit that I kind of have that attitude at times. So I'm a nagger to people to do this, and if they don't, I get angry. Yeah, that's really what my attitude for being like a bratty, spoiled, naggish girl. But I'm really, really trying to change that attitude of mine, like to adjust and to like realize that I cannot have everything I want. That's all that I have realizations that I have in 2021. But now in 2022, let's put it into action. You know what I'm saying? It all started first with realizations, and then next you're going to put it into action. So it takes a baby steps and one step at a time. Because in 2021, I always have this mindset that if people wanted to do it, or if they wanted it, they would, without you nagging or forcing for them to do it. And if people, and I mean, and if things are meant in your way, you will succeed, or you will achieve, or you will reach on that level. So it depends really on God's will, if it if those things are meant for you, and if the happening or situation will go in a way that you wanted to. But sometimes that we should always remember that we should align our desires to God's will, because sometimes our desires is really not the best, and we should put in mind that God's will is what the best. I mean, in my faith, in what I believe in, God's will is what is really the best for me, regardless of my desires. That is why it is very important that we should align our desires to God's will. And if our desires are not achieved or are not for us, then we should remember that there is a greater or a much better things to come, or our desires are not yet for us right now. Now let's hop on to the third habit, which is depending on others. Yes, I am a dependent person in any way, shape, or form. I like companies. I cannot live without any single company. Well, I try, but it's very hard, especially with having that social anxiety that I have explained a while ago. When I go to the mall, I really want someone to accompany me, and that's my mother most of the time, or some of my friends. Um, but when I go just doing some errands near the home, I can do it by myself, but most of the time, I really need some company. I think last year, in the year 2021, I had my first time that I have eaten in a restaurant. I think that was in Jollibee, a fast food by myself, and that was really a huge achievement for me, because that was really the first time after like 20 years of existence. And I think I have included it in the vlogmas. I'll try to link it down here, still in the iCard. Oh my god, sorry. I kicked the table off. And right now, I'll try to make it more like more self dates, more going out in a restaurant on my own, going out to the mall on my own. Because, I'm completely, not completely, but like mostly known with, in my city. I'm like familiar with my city pretty much, that I could really go on my own, but I just really have this social anxiety that it makes me pretty feel so awkward, and like it feels uneasy that walking alone, like thinking what might people think of you. So it's really handy to have someone to talk to walking down. That's why I prefer to have a company. But in times when I don't, you know, let's do it by ourselves. Like, let's practice more to be with ourselves. Like, I really want to do that more this year. And also, this one, doing things for myself. This especially runs out for couples, like especially writing yourself a letter, or like buying yourself a flower, or buying yourself some gifts. That's more like in a relationship type, right? But we should kill the stigma. I should kill the stigma. I could do that for myself. I could buy flowers for myself. Why would not do that? I could write letters for myself. It's like a form of self-love or self-empowerment. So I should kill the stigma, and I could do that for myself. It all boils down to being alone but not lonely. So I should properly always remember that. We're down to the fourth habit, which is having negative body image or face image. So I know myself that I'm really a negative person. I'm not an optimistic person. I'm much on a pessimistic side. Whenever things go in a way that I did not expect, I would really push it down to the core to think more negative things. And I keep on overthinking a lot, and negative things rushed through my mind, especially this 2021. I mean, the whole pandemic situation, that we're just at home, and I kept on being less active and just keep on slacking, eating, and doing at school but at home. So I actually have weight gain. Yeah, I do have weight gain over the past 2 years or 1.5. But as of 2022, I'm trying to have these changes. I'm trying to be active once again. I'm trying to have this healthy lifestyle, eating better, sleeping better, trying, having those unhealthy lifestyle getting out of my system. Peers or bad influence people, just get out of my system, please. I'm trying to change my lifestyle here. I am doing in my diet. I'm really not that strict in terms of what should I eat, but I am on a portion control. So I learned this in Tony Sia. So I'm much more disciplined in eating small portion that is sufficient and enough for me. And then I also want to gain my confidence much and bring back the confidence I have in 2019, because of this weight gain. I know that I have much conflict with my self image and my body image. Like, I do not wear the clothes that I would like to wear because I'm kind of shy with the weight gain. But let's just try in 2022 to gain much more confidence, or bring back the confidence we had. I want to try to wear much trendy clothes, crop top, t-shirts. I always wear t-shirts. Shorts or skirts, dress, those things, sleeveless. I want to try, and I want to wear those and not being shy wearing those. So I want to be stylish with myself, and I also want to be creative with myself. So let's just bring back the confident, and being active helps, and having a healthy lifestyle helps too. So we're in the fifth habit, which is invalidating your mental health. Let's just kick it off in 2021. Like, we don't need that in 2022. Let us always remember. I know that I have said that I am a much more disciplined, even though I didn't said this, but in my life I am much more disciplined, even though I'm not that motivated. I try to be disciplined as much, even though I'm really not that motivated. But in terms of this, not invalidating your mental health, So at we should really schedule the days that we need to work, and then we should always give ourselves some rest days, and we need to look forward on that. But I know that there would be times that there are breakdowns and stuff during the day that we need to be working instead. But I suggest that if you want to break down, you should break down, and after that you go work ahead back. I mean, you just really don't need to force yourself to keep on that working. I know I said that you need to be disciplined, but give yourself a little bit of a break still. As I have keep on saying, do things that makes you happy and do things that you love to do, because that is the motto of mine in the 2022. Honor yourself at first. I mean, like, you could be kind to anyone and also honoring yourself first, or like giving yourself a favor also as well. And one of this I have learned is that when you are going to validate your mental health, is that to avoid people that could ruin your mental health state. So if you want to cut off people, actually you can really cut it off. This is your sign to cut people from your life if they don't give you any good things. So do not be afraid. Like, if they get angry of you because you've cut them, or like if they have reached you and then, hey, why did you cut me off, why did you unfollow me, why did you have blocked me, and you could just simply explain yourself. And if they're really coming from a good intention, they would actually understand. But if they're not, you can smell the negativity, and they're really not that good for you. You know what you can do to people like that? You could pray for them, and actually, instead of like fighting or like sinning against them, or like kanang, instead of talking back to them in a rude way, you could just pray for them to come over to turn things around. You could do that, and I think that is pretty much better because it gives you peace and serenity than fighting them over. So it is really important to bring yourself at peace, bring your mind at peace, bring your heart at peace, because it will give your life peaceful, because it will give you a peaceful life to the fullest, because that is really the key for me. If you give yourself peace, or you give your mind peace, and your mental health could lead for you in your life, then that makes your life at peace too. So just do not be angry at them. Instead, pray for them, clear your mind, avoid them as much as possible, unfollow them if you want. But if they'll ask, explain. And as I have said, if they're from good intentions, they would actually understand it, because your mental health is the very important thing in your life. It's one of the most important thing in your life, and it should be one of your priorities in life. So normalize validating your mental health. So that is all that I have for you in this short span of time. I think it was just short, but I hope you learned something and you got something to relate to onto me, and to follow from what I have said, that we should live off in 2021 and live a better life, a peaceful life, a joyous life in 2022. And let's just keep on reaching our goals, be disciplined to reach it. Thank you. Thank you so much for watching. And if you like this video slash podcast, don't please give this a big thumbs up. Subscribe down below, click the notification bell, comment down video suggestions that I will do in 2022, and just comment anything. I would like to engage with you in YouTube too. And share this to your friends that really needs it, or like in general, just share it, because I actually think this would be quite helpful to each and everyone. So this is Kylie saying, do things that makes you happy and do things that you love to do. Keep safe and God bless. Bye.